this demo, we are going to go ahead and create our Azure Container Instance. To complete this module demo, we're going to have to go to our Cloud Shell. I'm going to expand this a little bit. And we are going to go ahead and first and foremost create our resource group. So I'm going to go to the skill pipe and paste the command. As you can see right there, AZ group create. We've given the name given for the resource group is learn deploy ACI-RG, and then you've got location East US. Okay. After that, we need to go ahead and create a DNS label that's going to be associated with this particular container. So as you can see, the DNS name label is ACI-demo-$random. So this will generate us a set of random numbers. And this is essentially just to expose your container to the internet. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we have created our resource group and created our DNS name label, next thing we need to do is go ahead and create our container. Now, one thing to note is that the container code and that is provided within the skill pipe is actually not correct. Okay, so if you have a look at the container container create command, you'll see that the image is different on the skill pipe. This is what you should have as the image. It's the exact same image, however, it appears to be an error on the skill pipe. We're going to go ahead and paste this. And just before we do that, let's have a look at what we're doing. First, we are creating our container. We are then specifying which resource group we want to deploy to. We've given the container a name, my container. This is the image that we want deploying into that container. We've left port 80 open, and this is the DNS label. The DNS name label that we associated earlier. And finally, the location is East US. Let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, this has started and it's running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. Just before I pause the video, there may be a registration that the container needs to go through if this is the first container that you are deploying in your environment. So just be aware that if there's any orange writing stating that there is no registration and it needs to be registered, this will be done automatically. Now we can see that our container has deployed, and this is our output. When you do see your output, just have a look at it and try and understand exactly what's happened. But generally speaking, everything that you have deployed, the location, the name of the container, the operating system, the provision state, etc., will give you information on the container. Finally, we need to go ahead and view this particular container, and we can understand we need to get to the fully qualified domain name. Now, there's two ways to get the fully qualified domain name. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. You can go to your resource group that we just deployed to, go to the container, and in the overview section, this is the fully qualified domain name. Now, this particular fully qualified domain name is what you're going to use to access your container via the internet. Okay, let's go back to our Cloud Shell. I'm going to clear this so we can have a fresh slate. And what we need to do is we need to go ahead and use the AZ container show. And this is the method you can use in the cloud environment and Cloud Shell environment to retrieve this information. So as you can see right there, the command provided is the AZ container show. We specify which resource group we're looking in. We specify what's the name of the container, and the query we're going to pass is requesting for the fully qualified domain name, which will then be provided in a table format. Let's go enter that. And as you can see, you've got your fully qualified domain name, and you've got your provisioning state as well, which is stated above, as you can see in your query. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and copy this. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it from here. It's just easier. And next what we need to do is go ahead and put it into a browser. So go here, paste it. And as you can see, the container instance, the Azure Container Instance has been deployed, and it can be successfully accessed via the internet. And that is the end of our demonstration.